Good evening and welcome to Meadow Park for live coverage of this Adobe Women's FA Cup fourth round tie between record 14-time winners Arsenal and twice runners-up Bristol City. Indeed, this is a repeat of both the 2011 and 2013 FA Cup finals, both of which saw Arsenal beat Bristol Academy as they were then known. It's fourth in the WSL against second in the Championship. Can Bristol City cause what would be a huge upset? They come into the game on the back of a 3-1 win at Championship leaders Birmingham, which has left them just behind the Blues on goal difference alone. Arsenal, in contrast, suffered their first defeat of the René Slagers era on Sunday with a 1-0 loss at Chelsea, which all but ended any lingering hopes of a challenge for the WSL title. And that's merely put an even greater emphasis on ensuring cup success. Arsenal are already through to the Champions League quarter-finals and the League Cup semi-finals. Now, they belatedly begin their quest for a first FA Cup triumph in 9 years tonight, with a tie that was postponed on January the 11th due to a frozen pitch. It is a competition which Arsenal and their fans love. Such a proud history, such a proud tradition. But it has been a while now. 2016, their last FA Cup win. 1-0 against Chelsea at Wembley. To the final a couple of times since then. Is this the year to make it 15 FA Cup wins? When it comes to the team news, with one eye no doubt on Sunday's trip to Manchester City, René Slagers makes no fewer than 7 changes. Among those to come in, Lotte Wubben-Moy, who will wear the armband, and forward pair Rosa Kafaji, a summer signing from Häcken, and Stina Blackstenius. 16-year-old England under-17 defender Niamh Peacock on the bench. Bristol City boss Steve having a magnificent season up front, having struck 9 goals in all competitions so far. Also from an Arsenal perspective, good to see Amanda Illerstedt, the Sweden defender, back on the bench in the squad for the first time in almost a year, having returned from maternity leave. Congratulations to her and her family. Lotte Wubben-Moy on the left of screen, the Arsenal captain tonight. Jamie Lee Napier, the Bristol City captain. Arsenal in their No More Red shirts, their famous white shirts tonight, which they've been wearing for 4 years now with this campaign. All white, even the numbers are white, highlighting the need to eradicate youth violence and knife crime on the streets of the capital and beyond, doing their bit for a great cause. And Lotte Wubben-Moy, big night for her, leading the Gunners. It was a real setback at the weekend. Things have been going so well under René Slagers, who took charge, of course, in October, initially on an interim basis. Indeed, when this tie was originally supposed to be played on January the 11th, she hadn't yet been given the job permanently. That happened a few days later. She knows she is now in charge till the end of next season. Frida Leonardsen-Mornum and Stina Blackstenius having a chat. Stina Blackstenius not getting many minutes in the WSL, just the 1 start. 10 substitute appearances in the league for her. More regularly playing in the Cups. As the teams take the knee to highlight no room for racism or inequality in football or society. And Lexi Lloyd-Smith kicks things off for Bristol City in their change black strips. Bristol City lost at this stage last year, just a 1-0 defeat to the WSL side Liverpool. It's going to be, you imagine, a very tough night for them tonight, despite all the changes in the Arsenal side. Every player with such quality. There would be extra time and penalties if needed tonight, if Bristol City can hold the Gunners for 90 minutes. This time last week, of course, Arsenal beat Brighton in the League Cup quarter-final. They were 4-0 winners. Brighton held them. Brighton, a fellow WSL side, held them for just over an hour, but then a 3-goal blitz in 5 minutes put that tie to bed. Lovely ball through by Lexi Lloyd-Smith to Fionn Morgan, the Wales international. Big summer ahead for Fionn Morgan and Ella Powell, her Bristol City teammate. Wales through to Euro 2025, of course, their first ever major tournament. In the same group as England, France, Netherlands. Will they get to celebrate a return to the WSL between now and then with Bristol City? Relegated last season for the third time in the WSL era, now looking for their third promotion in that time. Vubenmoy back to Manuela Zinsberger, a League Cup winner in the last 2 seasons, starting in the League Cup finals, Manuela Zinsberger. But she too getting fewer minutes now in the WSL after the summer signing of Daphne van Domselaar, who's on the bench tonight for the Gunners. The Dutch woman signed from Aston Villa. Zinsberger has started a couple of WSL matches. This is her 10th start in all competitions tonight. And she'll be keen to keep a clean sheet against opponents from a lower tier. There's a Kafaji, turns but loses the ball. Morden. Mead with the ball in, and it's going to be tapped in and scrambled home by Stina Blackstenius. An Arsenal lead inside 3 minutes. Well, she was never going to miss from there, was she? Good work from Beth Mead down the right. Lovely low cross in. And Stina Blackstenius on hand to tap in her 4th goal of the season. Lovely footwork by Mead. And a beautiful low cross in. And at the second attempt, it got caught under her feet initially, didn't it? And then Blackstenius just turns it home. And not the start that Bristol City would have wanted. Always going to be a really tough night, even tougher now. Will just ease any Arsenal nerves that there might have been regarding the possibility of an upset. Mustaki with the ball back. Now, Jackie Burns has struggled a bit in the cup ties this season with these sort of clearances. This happened in 2 of the League Cup ties, and she didn't look too confident there either. Bristol City determined under Steve Kirby, their new manager, took over in September, to play out from the back. But she has really struggled with that in the League Cup ties and gave the ball away again there. Vubenmoy. Napier to Syme. Syme's been having a fine season for Bristol City. 3 goals and 2 assists. The Bristol City number 16. The Kafajia's rugby onto her there. Arsenal looking for a quick fire second. Corner comes in for Arsenal, the first of the evening. Header onto the bar from Laia Kadina. Decent climb, decent leap. And Jackie Burns got a touch to it just as it bounced off the bar. And it's a corner which referee Amy Fern is saying should be taken from the other side of the pitch. Oh, I just spotted number 27, Bristol City number 27. Jessie Woolley wasn't on the team sheet and had to be a very late change for Amy Rogers. Jessie Woolley, the 23-year-old forward, making her third start of the season. Amy Rogers having to pull out very late on. Mead to Kafaji. Long range shot curls and Burns spills it and is tapped home again by Blackstenius. Right on the line, just before it went in. Stina Blackstenius has her second goal inside the opening 8 minutes. Real tough moment for Jackie Burns, who just couldn't bring that ball under control. And Blackstenius was there to turn it home. Well, Frida Mornham's been credited with the goal for the initial shot. It looked to me like it hadn't completely crossed the line when Blackstenius taps it home. But the stadium announcer's given it to Frida Mornham for that original shot. Katie Reid, what a season she's having. Just turned 18. Katie Reid got her first start against Vålerenga in the Champions League earlier in the campaign. Arsenal looking for a third inside the opening 10 minutes. Corner swept in and headed into the arms of Jackie Burns, and that will hopefully do her confidence wonders. A little boost. Really difficult start for her. The Northern Ireland international, signed in the summer from Reading. Speaking of Reading, their sad demise, their withdrawal from the Championship following their relegation from the WSL last season means there is an odd number of teams in the Championship, which means each weekend one team doesn't play. We'll just break off because Jamie Lee Napier has played through Fionn Morgan. Nice 1-2, but has she put a little too much on it? Morgan's kept it in and won Bristol City a corner. Well, that is a good response after a really tough start. Just to go back to that point, it means Bristol City are not involved in the Championship this weekend. And in fact, if they lose this tie, that will mean no FA Cup action on the 9th of February. And so they won't play again until the 16th. when they host, or they're away rather, at Southampton, the team they beat in the FA Cup third round to get to this stage. Lovely cross in, but headed away. Woolley, that late addition to the starting lineup, gives it away, but on the second attempt wins her side a throw. And just some welcome respite for the visitors here. The most advanced they've been in this opening 11 minutes. 11 minutes in which they find themselves trailing to Stina Blackstenius' tap in the third minute, and then Leonarda Mornham's drive from the edge of the box, which Jackie Burns was unable to hold. It looks to me like Blackstenius may have tapped that in from on the line, but it has been credited to Leonarda Mornham. Burns gets it clear, but Arsenal come straight back at that Bristol City goal. Wayward ball. Just to add to the, or demonstrate rather, the size of the task Bristol City were already facing tonight. Arsenal haven't lost in the FA Cup to a team other than Chelsea or Manchester City since 2017, when Birmingham beat them in the quarter-finals. Birmingham went on to be runners-up that year, and Birmingham back then were a really strong side too. So for a championship side and to come here and hope to get anything is always a tall order. And it looks even more unlikely now than it did at kickoff. That goal that Chelsea scored on Sunday, the penalty for the foul by Kim Little, who's not in the squad tonight. Rested, one imagines. Was only the fourth goal rather, that Arsenal have conceded under René Slagers. Manchester United scored against Slagers' Arsenal. Bayern Munich got a couple here in a match which Arsenal won 3-2. But they do not give away many goals, no matter who's in the starting lineup. Mornham tries to thread it through to Kafaji. Mornham, who had that long-range left-footed shot, which was too hot for Jackie Burns to handle. And she let it slip through her grasp. In the 8th minute, to see Arsenal double their very early lead. Bristol City, to their credit, have held firm since then as we approach the quarter of an hour mark. Tough week coming up for Arsenal because they visit Man City in the WSL Sunday lunchtime. And then they play City again in the League Cup semi-final next week. Well, there's a chance here for Napier. Napier takes the shot on. I'm not sure she realised quite how much time she had. Straight at Zinsberger. First touch was beautiful from Napier. Brought it under control and into her path, but she opted to take the shot on early. And it never troubled Zinsberger. Mentioned how Bristol City won at Birmingham at the weekend to move behind the leaders on goal difference alone. What an enthralling promotion race it is in the Championship. If you haven't checked it out, do so. Do watch our featured game on the YouTube channel each weekend, because there are 7 teams in the Championship separated by 4 points at the moment, the top 7. Just one comes up, of course, at the end of the season. Or there's another opportunity for Blackstenius. Blackstenius arrows it home for her 2nd of the night, Arsenal's 3rd. It's raining goals at Meadow Park. Stina Blackstenius moves on to her 5th goal of the season. She could well double her tally for the season in one night if she goes on to get a hat-trick, which she is now 1 goal away from. Five goals for the season, 3 assists in all competitions. She has scored a couple in the WSL, despite having had just that 1 start. Scored in the 3-0 win at Tottenham, and in the 4-0 home win over Aston Villa in the WSL. And she's already on a hat-trick. Arguably, some would say already has one, because I'm not entirely convinced still that Frida Leonardsen-Mornham's shots had completely crossed the line before Blackstenius applied a finishing touch. Just a reminder tonight that you can follow one of the other 4th round ties being played, another tie that was delayed back on the 11th of January. West Ham against Liverpool is also available, and Liverpool have taken an early lead there at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. And have in fact gone on to double that early lead. They lead 2-0 to Liverpool, who had that shock defeat to Leicester in the WSL at the weekend. So Liverpool 2-0 up at West Ham. The winners tonight in this tie, and we can probably assume already that's going to be Arsenal, barring something extraordinary here, will be at home to London City Lionesses in the 5th round on the 9th of February. London City Lionesses are just a point behind Bristol City in the Championship, sitting in 3rd place. So a similar kind of assignment for Arsenal. Oh, and Jamie Lee Napier's caught one in the face there, I think, from Laia Cadena accidentally, as the players came together. Play goes on, and Jamie Lee Napier is back on her feet. Laia Cadena is the chant from the Arsenal fans, a member, of course, of Spain's World Cup winning squad and Nations League winning squad, as was Mariona Caldonte, her Arsenal teammate. Arsenal on the charge again, and that one will drift harmlessly out of play. Syme Gets it rather caught under her feet, but does well in the end to bring it under control. But the ball is wrestled off her. Blackstenius to Mead. Leonardson Mornham tries to bundle her way through. Harley Bennett, signed in the summer from Watford, with the throw for Bristol City, who, like Arsenal, have had a change of manager during the season. Stephen Kirby taking over after the first 2 games. Lauren Smith left 12 days before the start of the championship season, subsequently installed as the England under-19 boss. And Stephen Kirby getting the job and having made a real impression so far. Bristol City doing ever so well in the championship. Stephen Kirby spent the last couple of years as an assistant coach at WSL side Leicester. Previously been a coach of the Foxes men's under-18s. And he and his Bristol City side have been motoring along in the championship. They have lost 3 of their last 6 in all competitions, so a bit up and down of late. Here's Katie Reid. Mentioned how it's a big week ahead for Arsenal, those 2 matches against Manchester City. One in the WSL this weekend, and the League Cup semi-final next midweek. And then next Friday, the 7th of February, the draw for the Champions League quarter-finals. Draw takes place in Nyon. All 3 of the English clubs through, of course. And there's no country protection in that quarter-final draw. So you could see Arsenal get Chelsea or Manchester City. Kafaji. Still Kafaji. Takes a shot on, takes a huge deflection. Almost drops to Blackstenius. And it's off of the roof of the bar and almost bounces back over the line. Well, it was Leonardson Mornham again with the shots. And it bounced off the top of the crossbar. And the way that that ball just shot into the air, and the way that it spun back off the turf for one moment left me thinking it was going to be another, well, embarrassing moment really for Jackie Burns. But fortunately she was able to gather her senses and get to that ball. Gather her whereabouts, rather. Having to try and locate that spinning ball as it shot into orbit and then bounced back off the turf at pace. Headed down, and it's beyond Burns. And across goal. And Beth Mead is in on the action. Well, it was a really well taken header, in fact. Headed it back across goal into the inside of that far side netting. She climbed so well, timed her jump to perfection. And it was beyond the reach of Jackie Burns. And Arsenal have their 4th of the night. Beth Mead has her 6th of the season. 4-0 to the Gunners. So tough for any team from outside the WSL to get an away draw in the FA Cup against one of the true giants of the game. Didn't want to mention it, but of course it was a record WSL scoreline back in December 2019 here when Arsenal won 11-1 in the WSL. Biggest win in WSL history, highest scoring game in WSL history. And you have to start thinking along those terms now, given that Arsenal lead 4-0 and they're looking for a fifth. Good foot in by Powell. Powell gets there to complete the clearance. Cooney cross doesn't quite get there, but Katie Reid picks it up for Arsenal and sends it back to Vubben-Moy. Kadina rather, Vubben-Moy's to her left. Blackstenius sends it through to Mead. Free kick to Bristol City. Jamie Lee Napier giving chase again. Oh, she's done really well to get there, Jamie Lee Napier. Is there some respite here for Bristol City? Well, there is in the shape of a corner. Former London City Lionesses player. Second season now with Bristol City. As I mentioned, got her first goal for the club at the weekend at Birmingham, to complete the scoring in that 3-1 win. Corner for Bristol City. Libby Banks, who's on loan here from Brighton for the season, has WSL experience. The number 12, now it's with Syme. Syme's cross is cut out easily, drops the fee on Morgan though. But she too can't get it beyond Katie Reid. Katie Reid again preferred to Lara Wienreuter, the Austrian international, tonight. There's been some murmurs that perhaps Lara Wienreuter could be among those to move on in the transfer window. No word from the club. She's done so well to fight back from her serious injury, Lara Wienreuter, but seems to have slipped down the pecking order at Arsenal. Half an hour played. You almost think on a night like this that it's the team that's losing that might be tempted to time waste, given wanting to limit the damage. But I have to say, you've got to give a lot of credit to Bristol City. Just in patches, they passed the ball away around really well. And they would have known, of course, and Stephen Kirby would have known, of course, just how heavily the odds would have been stacked against them tonight. But they'll want to get so much experience from playing a team of this quality. There's so much that they can learn from tonight that will stand them in good stead for the second half of the championship season, a second half in which they have real hopes of an immediate return to the WSL. Fionn Morgan wins it off of Katie Reid, and Emily Syme on the turn, loses out though as Reed wins it back. Bristol City throw. Mustaki, the Republic of Ireland international, with the throw in. Jamie Lee Napier knocks it back to Struck, and she goes all the way back to Burns. Burns executes the clearance pretty well, gets distance on it, but Arsenal do win it back immediately. Cooney cross. Cooney cross again. She can hit them. We saw evidence of that last week when she struck her first goal for the Gunners against Brighton in the League Cup. Jessie Woolley sends it forward down that right flank, but there's too much pace on the ball. And Vibbenroy just knocks it back to Zinsberger. And her name echoes around Meadow Park. Lovely touch from Mead to bring that under control and sends it inside to Mornham. But a heavy pass which trundles through to Burns. Napier. Mustaki looks to go long. Elia Cadena reads it, and her boots come off, in fact. Fionn Morgan just caught the back of the heel. Elia Cadena puts that left boot back on. Started every knockout game in the World Cup, including the final when Spain beat England 1-0. England and Spain set to do battle again in the upcoming Nations League, which kicks off next month. Spain comes to Wembley in February, and of course both teams will be among the favourites in the Euros this summer. England heading into it as European champions, Spain as world champions. Bounces off the shin of Blackstenius. Reed. Bance does well, and off the outside of the right boot with a lovely pass, but Fionn Morgan is not able to bring that under control. Mustaki sends it back to Burns. She manages to get it clear. You do fear for Bristol City as well. They've only got 6 players on the bench tonight. Arsenal themselves have only got 8 of the 9 permitted, but among them the England captain Leah Williamson. Emily Fox, Olympic gold medalist with the USA. Leah Valti, a midfielder of exquisite talent. And Alessia Russo among Arsenal subs. You'd imagine with 5 permitted that a good few of them will get a run outs, as Renee Slegers will want to give her players a breather ahead of such a difficult match at the weekend coming up away to Manchester City. Cross in, and Burns gathers that well. Then Alson Mornham with the Dinks efforts. Morgan and Napier have been lively for Bristol City. They've struggled, though, City, to get Lloyd Smith into the game, a player who started out at the Arsenal Academy, the number 10. You can see in the picture there, Bristol City having such a good season, her best season of her career, still only 21. Got a couple of goals in the Championship for Southampton last year, but what a season this time round. 8 goals in the Championship, 9 in all competitions for Bristol City. And some of those goals have been of the highest order. Check them out on YouTube. Mead with the cross in. Goes over the head of Blackstenius. Powell does well under pressure from Kafaji. Here is Lloyd Smith, but her pass back to Powell is rather heavy and almost goes behind for a corner. Powell keeps it in, but it's given away. Lloyd Smith wins it back and wins. Well, in fact, it's gone to Arsenal, the throw. Another throw for Arsenal as they creep along that far touchline. Ariana Caldente goes short, but in fact the throw-in goes to Kafaji. Fubin-Moy to Laia Kadina. Out wide to Mead. Reed gets the foot in once more, but it's a City throw. Bennett to Powell. Powell tries to feed it through to Lloyd Smith, but it's behind for an Arsenal goal kick. Cooney cross. Throw in for Bristol City, which Powell leaves for Bennett. He just gives it a wipe on the shirt to try and enable her to get better grip and better distance. But it's straight to an Arsenal head into the final 5 plus added time. at the end of this first half. I'm sure Bristol City can't wait to get in at the break, have a breather, and they'll be hoping they can just get there without any more damage done to the scoreline. You can hear a few of their fans chanting Bristol City, and that's good to hear. Long trip up here on a midweek. And seeing their team 4-0 down as they were inside 25 minutes. Bance. Struck to Bennett. Woolley. Too much on the pass, and it's out for a Bristol City throw. Five of the starting lineup tonight did play in the last FA Cup final that Arsenal were present in 2021 when they were beaten by Chelsea at Wembley 3-0 that day. Manuela Zinsberger, Lotta Wubbenmoy, Steph Catley, Frida Leonardson Mornham. Those four players in fact who started that game. Leah Valti also started, but she is on the bench tonight, or rather I should say featured in that game, not necessarily all started, but it just shows the quality that so many of this Arsenal squad tonight so recently played in an FA Cup final. Kafaji, she'll want to get in on the scoring act tonight, but she's been just eked out a play, eked out a room there on the far side. Rosa Kafaji. Signed from Häcken in the summer. Has already got one goal for Arsenal. Back in October in the 2-0 win over West Ham. Oh, and Zinsberger was well out of her goal mouth. Luckily, there wasn't too much more pace on that pass back. Blackstenius with the cross in, and there's going to be a corner for Arsenal. corner. Comes in and Burns does really well. That was coming in at pace. It stuck to her gloves. Bristol City, I'm sure, cannot wait for that half-time whistle to go. And it does go, just a one added minute played, and Arsenal have more than 1 foot into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Stina Blackstenius striking inside 3 minutes. Frida Leonardsen-Mornem from distance doubled that lead a couple of minutes later. And Blackstenius got her second of the night before the 20-minute mark, before Beth Mead's fine header. 25 minutes in. Bristol City, to their credit, have kept that damage down. They played a few passes around in patches that have just shown that they're not going to let their heads be bowed and their confidence torn asunder by what they always knew was going to be a really, really tough challenge to come here to the home of the record 14-time winners. But they do head in at the break 4-0 down. Let's look back at the best moments, the goals from the first half here at Meadow Park. Beth Mead with the assist for the opener, which Blackstenius tapped home. Couldn't miss from there, the Swede. Perfect starts. And they were almost very quickly 2-0 up. And that was the case in the 8th minute. The ball was tapped in from on the line. Well, it was Frida Leonardsen-Mornem tapping it in. My mistake earlier. Kyra Cooney crossed with his shots. I thought it was Blackstenius. Burns, who had a difficult moment early on. Jamie Lee Napier with a long-range shot. And Blackstenius with her second of the night. Made it 3-0. Rattles off the bar from Mornem, and Burns gathered it comfortably in the end. And what about this for a header? Really fine goal from Beth Mead. And that's how we get to half-time at 4-0. I have to say, it's been something of an anxiety dream for a commentator, for shirts with no numbers on and the goals raining in. But it was Frida Leonardsen-Mornem with the tap-in on the line for the second goal. So at half-time at Meadow Park, Arsenal was sailing into the 5th round. Do join us again after the break for the second half. Half-time, Arsenal 4, Bristol City 0. Welcome back to Meadow Park, where record 14-time FA Cup winners Arsenal lead Championship outfit Bristol City 4-0 at the break. The Gunners exploded into life, taking the lead inside 3 minutes through Stina Blackstenius, who had 2 before the half was out. Beth Mead and Frida Leonardsen-Mornem also among the scorers. Bristol City making a change. So on comes Jess Simpson, on loan from Manchester United for a second time, just recently rejoined. I saw Leah Williamson, the England captain, getting ready to come on for Arsenal. So Leah Williamson on for Kyra Cooney Cross. Fox also entering the fray as Steph Catley departs for Arsenal. Leah Williamson, who has had plenty of FA Cups, highs and lows, I guess, throughout her career. Stellar career with Arsenal. Just a recap of what happened in that first half. Beth Mead setting up Stina Blackstenius from close range to tap Arsenal ahead inside 3 minutes. In the 8th minute, Kyra Cooney crosses long-range effort. Was bundled home, fumbled rather, by Jackie Burns, the Bristol City goalkeeper, and taps home from pretty much on the line by Frida Leonardson-Mornham. Blackstenius got her second from distance in the 17th minute, and Beth Mead with a fine header from a Catley cross in the 25th minute. Bristol City managed to not let any more in before half-time. But it could be a tough second half for the Championship side. Going really well in the league this season. Arsenal attempting to get a fifth. Them. Oh, lovely build-up play. Can Arsenal get an early goal in this second half, just as they did in the first? Well, it's a corner. Just confirmation of the change for Bristol City. Jessie Woolley departed at the break, number 27, and on came Jessica Simpson, the number 19, who is on loan from Manchester United for the second time. Had a spell on loan last season. Did actually play for Manchester United as a substitute in the League Cup earlier this season against Everton. That's her one and only Manchester United appearance. Jessie Woolley, who's gone off, was herself a very late introduction to the starting 11. It was Amy Rogers who was supposed to start but had to pull out just before kickoff. Jessie Woolley replaced her, but has now been herself replaced by Jessica Simpson. Leah Williamson. Moit inside to Mead. Bristol City pass their way out of trouble, but it is given away in the end by Powell. Knocked out a play by Harley Bennett. Reed with the throw in. Morgan. It's immediately won back. Powell picks it up, gains a few yards and sends it off to Napier on her right. Mustaki to Napier. Simpson is unable to keep it in, and it's an Arsenal throw. Beth Mead is back on her feet. On the score sheet again tonight, Beth Mead, with that lovely header, 25 minutes in. Low cross comes in and it's turned away by Silly Struck, the Dane. Reed. Williamson with the ball through. It's all become a little scrappy over the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lexi Lloyd-Smith wins a free kick. Amy Fern just having a word with Laia Cadena. Mustaki with the layoff to Simpson. Sends it through to Morgan. Morgan's not going to get there and it's out for an Arsenal goal kick. Powell puts Reed under a bit of pressure and gives away the free kick. Well, at this stage in the first half, Bristol City had already conceded 2, so they've done really well at the start of this second half. In fact, credit to them that the gaps between the goals have got bigger and bigger. Just 5 minutes between the first and second. 8 minutes between the second and third. And then 17 between the third and fourth, and there's not been one since the 25-minute mark, so fair play to Bristol City. As I mentioned earlier, when they were in the same division as Arsenal, both WSL sides back in December 2019, they lost 11-1 here. And tonight, as a championship club, they've managed to stem the tide for now. Obviously, the limbs will weary as the game wears on. And it's unlikely that the goal scoring is already done for the night, but we shall see. Williamson with the ball out to Mead, who goes from right out on the right flank and drifts it over the head of Jackie Burns. And that 5th goal of the night for Arsenal has come a 2nd of the night for Beth Mead. The first was a fine close-range header. The second, an audacious, well, I was going to say cross shot, but I'm pretty sure she did mean that. She knew what she was doing, Beth Mead. And she sends it beyond the grasp of Jackie Burns, who kicks her post in frustration. Smile wide on the face of Beth Mead. Her 7th goal of the season. Lloyd Smith momentarily wins it back, but slips to the turf as it rolls out of play. And Amy Fern holds up play just to allow her to get back to her feet. So a brace of braces we've seen tonight. 2 from Stina Blackstenius, 2 from Beth Mead. And 1 from Frida Leonardson-Mornham. Free kick to Bristol City as Mead knocks Napier over. Bantz. Bantz again, but the ball is won back. And it's with Mead. Kafaji gives chase, but Bennett will get there first and knocks it out of play for the Arsenal throw. Foul throw. Well, in fact, the offside flag was up. Syme. Burrs just about gets it away in time. Kafaji, is she going to get her goal for the night? Tries to force it through the legs of Bennett. I'm sure she's chomping at the bit to get on the score sheet. Tries to work room for the angle. And the Arsenal fans sensing the nerves of Jackie Burns now and trying to prey on those nerves and put extra pressure on the visiting goalkeeper. Renaud Slager's about to make another change. Leah Valti set to enter the fray. Long-time servant of the club. Swiss midfielder coming on for Mariona Caldente, who's had a pretty quiet night, certainly by her standards. Arguably Arsenal's player of the season so far, but she'll be grateful of that half hour on the bench ahead of the trip to Manchester City, and Leah Valti will be grateful of the half hour on the pitch. Started 6 WSL games, has Leah Valti. This is her 13th start in all competitions. And she's on the ball now, lays it off to Reed. Long searching ball forward from Williamson towards Kafaji, but it's a heavy through ball and it goes straight out of play. Hour played. Arsenal lead 5-0. And there's going to be a treble substitution for Bristol City. Tiana Taser is coming on for Ella Powell. Leah O'Leary, the new signing, comes on for Lexi Lloyd-Smith. And Amelie Testrup comes on for Fionn Morgan. Testrup, of course, WSL experience with West Ham, also with Bristol City last season, also Liverpool player in the past. Still looking for her first goal of the season, Amelie Testrup, the Dane. But she brings a bit of experience, a bit of nous to the Bristol City forward line. Leah O'Leary just signed this month, having left Shamrock Rovers in Ireland. Oh, Burns does really well there as it's ushered back to her, or shepherded back by City Struck, who had to make sure she didn't pass it back. Just got her body in the way and allowed Burns to come and collect. Leah O'Leary is the Ireland under-19 captain, the number 6 who's just come on for Bristol City, their new signing. Kifaji picks it up here for the Gunners. She's turned Napier, who's kicked out, and that'll be a free kick, and surely going to be a booking for Jamie Lee Napier. Well, has she escaped? Because that was a cynical late challenge. And it's the spray that the referee Amy Fern's gone for rather than the card. I'm quite surprised that she wasn't booked for that. Mead with the free kick, and it'll have to be taken again because Amy Fern is not happy with something she saw in the penalty box, wanting to separate a couple of players. I think there was a tussle going on there she wasn't happy with, and it comes again from Mead. Clattered over high of the bar. Headed to the edge of the box, and Williamson shoots from distance. Well, it was Mornham, indeed, who shoots from distance, clears the bar on that occasion. Reed. Bance wins it back in the middle of the park. Goes long in search of Testrup. Syme. Back to Mustaki. Struck. Mustaki goes long. O'Leary sends it through. Valti wins it back for the Gunners. Reed. Reed again. Kafaji. Long cross and headed down, and comfortable save. As Blackstenius gets a header in. It was too close to Burns on this occasion. Been fascinating to watch the development of Katie Reed. Arsenal's number 62 this season, switched to the left back role in this half. In fact, made her WSL debut as a sub against Bristol City towards the end of last season in a 5-0 home win. Also had a loan at Watford last season, aiding her development, getting an increasing number of minutes this season, certainly in the cup competitions. It's a foul here by Mustaki on Blackstenius. Free kick to Arsenal. Halfway through the second half. Well, might Mead be tempted to try something similar from here? She does go goalwards again, and this time Burns does really well to palm it over. Fair play to a goalkeeper who's had a difficult night. I think she was expecting a repeat too and positioned herself well. Mead wants a hat-trick as the chant from the Arsenal fans. Kafaji goes for goal, palmed down by Burns. Valti gets under the ball and sends it over the bar. Beth Mead is on a hat-trick. Stina Blackstenius is on a hat-trick. Frida Leonardson-Mornham, the other goal scorer for Arsenal tonight, is given away by Bance. Blackstenius tries to work room for the shot, takes the shot on, Burns palms it away. A really good few moments for the Bristol City goalkeeper. 3 saves in quick succession. Napier back to Burns. Again, the crowd tries to apply some pressure. Williamson to Valti. Bennett has her shirt pulled by Kafaji, and Bristol City have a free kick. And this was the Blackstenius shot just moments ago. Burns springing to her left. Got both palms on it, two strong palms to parry it away. Amy Fern just has a word with Rosa Kafaji for that shirt pull on Harley Bennett. 20 minutes to go plus added time. Just a reminder, you can watch one of the other delayed FA Cup fourth round ties live on YouTube tonight. Liverpool enjoying a win almost as handsome as the one Arsenal are enjoying here at the moment. Well, I say a win, a lead rather. They haven't won it yet, but they are 4-0 up at West Ham. So looking good for a place in the fifth round. You can watch on YouTube and on the FA Player tonight, this game and that West Ham Liverpool match. Fifth round ties taking place on the weekend of the 8th and 9th of February. Liverpool win that, they'll be heading to third tier Rugby Borough. So the draw kind of opening up for them, you'd imagine. There'd be heavy favourites for that. And a place in the quarter-finals looming. Arsenal likewise, assuming they're going to go through here, which I think we can safely say they are. Will be at home to another championship side, London City Lionesses. Team just a place behind tonight's opponents, Bristol City, in the championship, so it will be a very similar assignment to this one. And again, they will be heavy favourites to make it into the quarter-finals. Reed. Syme wins it back, does really well in fact, but it's given away now. Bennett gets there just in time ahead of Kafaji. Burns with the clearance. Napier struggles to bring it under control, but is able to shepherd it back to Bennett, who knocks the clearance long. Williamson's pass goes all the way through. Blackstenius is appealing for the foul. Nothing given. Liverpool have got a fifth at West Ham. They've scored as many on their travels at a fellow WSL team as Arsenal have got at home to a championship side tonight. So that may be a little statistic which allows Bristol City to be a little less downbeat about the events that have unfolded here tonight after an absolutely nightmare start, to be fair, and I know there's still a long way to go and that their limbs will be weary, but they have, since that fourth goal back on the 25th minute mark, done pretty well. They've limited Arsenal to just one more since. That a bit of a freak goal from Beth Mead. Freaking that you can't fault the defending as such, you can fault the goalkeeping. You can praise Beth Mead for the ambition, because I think she knew exactly what she was doing. But freak in a sense that I don't think Steve Kirby can necessarily blame his side for losing their shape or any such thing. They've defended since that fourth goal pretty well, Bristol City. In relative terms, of course, given the size of the task they were always facing tonight. Mead returns it to Williamson. And Mustaki plays it off her for a Bristol City throw. Quarter of an hour plus added time to play. Searching, cross in, headed away well. Arsenal win it back with Reed, but it's knocked out of play for a Bristol City throw. Napier tries to knock one over the top. It was given away by Bance. Is this the moment for Kafaji? She couldn't bring it under control, and that gave Struck the chance to get back and block it, turning into a frustrating night rather for Rosa Kafaji. Seen three of her teammates get on the score sheet. Would have fancied her chances. Still time yet. Kafaji takes the corner, knocks it in really high towards that far post. She did get 4 goals in the Champions League last season for Häcken, did Rosa Kafaji. Champions League run in which they beat Real Madrid. Another couple of changes. Alessia Russo replaces Beth Mead. And Amanda Illerstedt is back, much to the delight of the fans. Sweden international scored 4 goals at the last World Cup. She replaces Lotta Wubben-Moy, who began the night as captain. Amanda Illerstedt out for pretty much a year for the most joyous of reasons, returning from maternity leave. It's her first appearance since last January. And what a talent she is. And I'm sure every Arsenal player and fan, and Renee Slager's delighted to have her back in the squad. And available for selection again. Read back to Zinsberger. Ten minutes plus added time to play. Just a reminder of those FA Cup 5th round ties on the 8th and 9th of February. Aston Villa at home to Brighton in an all WSL clash. Manchester United, the holders, visit 3rd tier Wolves. West Ham or Liverpool. Looks like it's going to be Liverpool heading to 3rd tier Rugby Borough. Crystal Palace host Championship side Newcastle. Crystal Palace, of course, came up to the WSL last season. Newcastle not themselves out of the fight. They might be 7th, but they're only 4 points off top spot in the Championship in what is a gripping race for promotion. There's an all-Championship clash as Portsmouth hosts Sunderland. Manchester City at home to Leicester. Oh, ball through for Russo, pulls it back and it's off the bar by Leonardson-Mornham. So close to a 6th of the night, but not to be. She's had a decent game though, as Leonardson-Mornham. Just continuing the rest of that 5th round draw. Arsenal, as it's surely going to be now, at home to London City Lionesses. And Chelsea against Everton in another all WSL tie. The WSL title surely beyond Arsenal now after Sunday's defeat at Chelsea, but could there be a treble? Still in the Champions League, through to the semi-finals of the League Cup, and heading into the 5th round of the FA Cup, where they'll be at home to a Championship side, so you'd make them heavy favourites to win that and make it into the quarter-finals. Plenty for the fans to still be excited about for the second half of this season, despite Sunday's defeat at Chelsea. Volleyed over the bar by Williamson. So often capable of finding that room at the far post from set pieces, and even sometimes on the counter. Oh. Well, for a moment I thought that pass was directed towards Burns and there was far too much on it, but it was just Bristol City's way of working their way clear. Mustaki. Bance. Burns to Bennett. Foul on Syme. Napier back to Struck. Mustaki through in the middle. Pinged over the top to Testrup. That's the most advanced Bristol City have been for quite some time. Taser flicked it over the top for Testrup to give chase. Into the final 5. Sure, there's a few Arsenal players out there who would love to get their name on the score sheets in these closing stages, and will sense the opportunity to do so. Sign back to Burns. Bance. Lishtet to Reed. Kafaji wins a free kick. Here Nelson Mornan with the free kick towards the far side. Syme back to Bennett. Struck over the top to Syme. Arsenal win it back. Is there time for one last goal to make it 6 of the best? Russo takes the shot on. Was Burns get a fingertip to that, or was it rocketed over the crossbar? It's gone straight over the bar from Blackstenius. Russo with the layoff. Blackstenius drilling it with such power towards the goal. Into the final minute. Lovely ball over the top. Bristol City scramble it clear. And Napier just lets it roll behind. The 90 minutes is up. Mead named player of the match. To the appreciation of the home fans. A couple of goals for her tonight. Taking her tally for the season to 7. One of the 4 added minutes played. Bristol City working really hard over these last few minutes just to try and keep this scoreline as respectable as possible. And I think you have to say there is a great deal of respect given just how difficult the start to this game was. Blackstenius is offside. It really could have been an awful lot worse. Arsenal were 3-0 up inside 17 minutes. 4-0 up in the 25th minute. They got their 5th within 10 minutes of the second half. Oh, Burns just about gets away with what would have been another horror moment. And I think she deserves to get away with that, to be honest. Late chance for Arsenal to try and get a 6th. Bristol City momentarily clear it. Arsenal look to come again. Kafaji turns. Into the final of the 4 added minutes. In fact, Amy Fern brings proceedings to a conclusion. Arsenal are through to the 5th round. A 5-star showing for Bristol City. Emerged with plenty of credit on an evening that was always going to be a really tough one for them. Visiting one of the top teams in the country. A team that's won the FA Cup a record 14 times. And they got off to a really, really tricky start, did Bristol City. But they stemmed the tide. They kept Arsenal to just 1 goal in the second half. And I think Steve Kirby and his side can take a lot of heart, a lot of credit from this display tonight, which they can put to good use in their hunt for promotion, hunt for an immediate return to the WSL. Well, they'll be hoping to play teams of the calibre of Arsenal week in, week out, just like they were last season. Renee Slagers, perfect response really for her side after that London derby setback in the WSL at Chelsea on Sunday. They can head to Manchester City this coming Sunday in good heart. And let's look back at the moments that shaped this game and saw Arsenal through to the 5th round of the Adobe FA Cup. Just 3 minutes in, Beth Mead set up Stina Blackstenius for a tap-in. The first of her 2 goals tonight. Nightmare start for Bristol City in the 8th minute. Kyra Cooney cross with a shot from distance is squirmed beyond the grasp with Jackie Burns, and Leonardsson Mornham poked it home from pretty much on the line. Blackstenius with her 2nd of the night in the 16th minute. Decent shot from distance. And 25 minutes in, a lovely searching deep cross from Steph Catley picks out Beth Mead for her 1st of the night. Downward header, across goal. Lovely header from the England player. And a clever finish from her. 10 minutes into the 2nd half, she saw Jackie Burns slightly out of position and locked the Bristol City keeper for her 2nd of the night. At that point, still 36 minutes to go. Could have got a lot worse for Bristol City. But Arsenal did the hard work quickly early on, and Bristol City kept working right to the end. Bristol City can concentrate now on the race for promotion. They're 2nd in the Championship, behind Birmingham City on goal difference alone. 7 teams though in the promotion hunt, just 4 points separating them. Enthralling finish to the Championship season. Arsenal, their title hopes probably extinguished by that defeat at Chelsea at the weekend, but they're still going strong through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, through to the semi-finals of the League Cup, and tonight through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, where they will host Championship side London City Lionesses on February the 9th. Thank you for joining us at Meadow Park. It finished tonight in this FA Cup 4th round tie. Arsenal 5, Bristol City 0.